Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is now in session. First case is cause number M333-634. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Dennis Sattler Jr. Mr. Sattler, would you please come forward? This is cause number M333-634. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Dennis Sattler Jr. Mr. Sattler, is that your full name?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Sattler?
I'm pretty good.
That's good, Mr. Sattler. You're represented in this case by your attorney, Donald Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, how are you doing?
I've done better, Judge.
Okay. We hope that you are doing a lot better.
Well, somebody accidentally boarded my puppy's vehicle yesterday morning. And so I've been talking with the police last night and.
Was they accidentally boarded?
Yeah. The door was locked, the battery was disconnected.
Oh, okay.
So we've got an offer from the DA. If we can visit a minute, we'll try to.
Okay. I'll hold on. I'll hold on. Okay. Just have a seat. Court is in session and calls numbers M332952, case of style of the state of Texas versus Andre J. Sias. Mr. Sias, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Sias?
Don't do it.
That's good. Now, Mr. Sias, you're represented in your case by your attorney Langston Adams, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
I can't complain, doing well.
And Mr. Sias, how you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. Adams, well, the state is represented in this case by attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Sias's case?
Judge, this case involves an alleged assault, family violence. Ms. Porter has given me this access to the discovery in this case. I printed all the discovery in this case. And I also, if you look in what I'm showing right now, I did pick up the DVD right here. So if Mr. Sias will come in Tuesday of next week and watch this DVD, we'll be ready to go. But I got everything that I need, and this is it right here.
Okay. Now,
I think it will. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
give us a reset date. Yeah, keep it on announcement. What is it? Okay. This case will be reset to December 4th, give you an opportunity to have a conference with your client, Mr. Adams. And Mr. Sias, you're going to get your reset here in court. Once you get your reset in court, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. You're going to get your reset from our court coordinator. And Mr. Adams, we will send you your reset to you. We also have Miss Jana Renee Kelly. Please come forward, Miss Kelly.
Right. If Ms. Porter look at the file on Ms. Kelly's case, she was accepted to the pretrial diversion program, and I think the contract signing is on the December. Ms. Porter, what date it is in December? I forgot. I don't have it in front of me. December something.
December the 5th.
It's December 5th, so we're gonna reset this case a week after the signing date.
Right, and she has her paperwork for the contract signing. I gave that to her.
Okay. Give us a reset date. Second week of this. Okay, this case will be reset to December 13th. Ms. Kelly, you're gonna get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Adams, your reset will be sent to you. And Mr. Adams, I think that was your last case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Good morning, Judge. I'm back.
Okay, Mr. Galmore. Okay, the
Mr.
next is cause number M333242, case of style of state of Texas versus Stephen Renaud Campbell II.
He's on Zoom, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Mr. Campbell, you can take your mic off of mute. Mr. Campbell, you can take your mic off of mute.
I'm here.
Okay. Now, Mr. Campbell, how are you doing?
Fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Campbell, you're represented in this case by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Campbell's case?
Your Honor, Mr. Campbell still has an unfiled case associated with the case that is filed. So I believe we need another reset to see if the state's going to move forward on that other case.
Okay, give us a reset date. Okay, this case will be reset to December 6th of 2023. Mr. Galmore, your reset will be sent to you. Mr. Campbell, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They will be given notice of your reset date. Your reset date is December 6th, 2023. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you. And Mr. Galmore, your next case is cause number M333310. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jadarian O'Brien Taylor. Mr. Taylor, your full name is Jadarian O'Brien Taylor? Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Taylor? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Taylor. You are also represented in your case by your attorney, Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, this case is on the court's motion to revoke probation docket. And what is your announcement in this case?
Judge, this is our first setting. If we could have one additional setting before we set it for contested hearing, I'd like to get with the state and see if this case could be resolved.
Okay, give us a reset date.
November 8th.
November 8th. Okay. Case is reset to November 8th. Mr. Taylor, you're going to get your reset here in court from our court administrator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Galmore, I think this is your last case. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day and your reset will be sent to you.
Thank you, Judge. I do have one additional case. It's not on the docket. That's a refile from felony court, but I'll be down there in about an hour and I'll get that taken care of.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Good morning. Okay, before we get started in cause numbers, M 324008, the court had previously asked that there was an issue came up regarding whether or not the court had jurisdiction over this case. And specifically, it shows that Ms. Banks Ms. Banks was placed on Ms. Banks was placed on probation back in March 26th of 2021. For a period of 9 months, it was March 26th, okay, for a period of 9 months. And then the probation office filed a motion to extend Ms. Banks' probation. I think the first motion was filed on November 9th. Yes, November 9th of 2021. And that order had stated that Ms. Banks' probation will be extended for 6 months. And it said from December 24 till December 24 to 2021 until May 25th of 2022. It says 6 months, but then when you calculate that time, the specific time, it was 5 months. And then the state filed another motion, order extending probation in June 2nd of 2022, extending Mrs. Banks' probation from June 24th, 2022 until December 23rd of 2022. So the issue came up, was with the first amendment that was filed by the probation office. You had a general term said 6 months, specific term says showed that it was 5 months. And did we did y'all find any cases on that?
So we looked, I didn't find any cases on the particular issue. The jurisdiction judge, extension of it's done timely, still within it.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean,
just a state argument.
okay, but
Not any case law on specific.
well,
this case.
we did find a case. I found a case.
Okay, if the court did,
Okay.
then obviously the court makes the rules.
Okay, so we found the case. The case is styled state of Texas versus Whitson, is WHITSON versus state. 429 Southwest 3rd, 623. And it's basically what this case is saying, anytime that there's a conflict, the court is obligated to follow what is called the Nesbitt rule. It's a rule in the case of Nesbitt versus state. And in this case, basically, when there is a conflict between the general and the specific, if the time hasn't passed, you file the general, which is just the general language is 6 months. The specific language was conflicted with the general. And so if the court follow Whitson's case, the ruling in Whitson, and they applied the Nesbitt standard. Let's see, December 21st through, that would be June 25th. And so the second extension, the court had jurisdiction to follow. The court still has jurisdiction, is basically what I'm saying.
Sure.
Because it was filed timely.
Yes.
Now, you have, that's what, we did research on this case. And that's basically, we following the court's ruling in Whitson, that's WHITSON versus State, 429 Southwest Third, 632. So the court feels as though it has jurisdiction. Okay. So next,
Judge, you wanna, now that we're clear of that, we'll discuss it with counsel before.
Okay, that's fine.
proceed If you want.
that's fine. Okay, we'll do that. We'll just be in recess to give y'all
Thank you.
some time to discuss. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number 23 CCCR 0088. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Acherica Wade.
Think so.
Miss Wade is
Sherika.
Sherica.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Miss Wade?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Miss Wade. You represented in your case by your attorney, Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska, how are you doing? Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Miss Wade's case?
We've received the discovery in this case. Ms. Wade just needs an opportunity to come in the office and view it. So
Okay.
I have all the videos.
Okay, give us a reset date. Okay, this case will be reset to December 6th, 2023, Ms. Wade. Your
Okay.
attorney will be given notice to the reset date. Your attorney and your bondsman will give a notice to the reset date. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Next case is cause number 1331630. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Daniel De La Fuente. Mr. De La Fuente, would you please come forward? Mr. De La Fuente, your full name is Daniel De La Fuente. How you doing, Mr. De La Fuente? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. De La Fuente, you represented in this case by Attorney Ryan Matuska. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in this case?
Yeah, it's the same. It looks like we received the media on Friday. So if we could give Mr. Quincy an opportunity to come in the office.
Give us a reset date.
December.
This case will be reset to December 6th of 2023. Give an opportunity for your attorney to visit with you regarding the discovery that he has received in this case. Your attorney is going to get you reset. Once you get your reset from the attorney, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Matuska, I think this is your last case. You'll be free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
And I'll email you an offer. Okay.
You'll be still working on it. Boudreaux? Okay, I was in,
Are you still?
I'm gonna send this back to you because then you're gonna have to send it back to me. This is, Castellan.
Okay. Sounds good.
Boudreaux is Sadler. In 80. Oh. Court is back in session at clause number M333634. Case is style of state of Texas versus Dennis Sattler Jr. Mr. Sattler, your full name is Dennis Sattler Jr.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sattler, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Sattler, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Mr. Sattler, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Sattler?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Sattler, you're represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Don Boudreaux. Attorney Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
Well, Attorney Boudreaux, do you waive a record in Mr. Sattler's case? Mr. Sattler, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor, well, that's titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Dennis Sattler Jr., on or about September 29 of 2022, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Second, this information further alleges that prior to the commission of this offense, that you, Dennis Sattler Jr., on May 2nd of 2019, in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, hold on a minute. In cause number 321783, that you were convicted of the misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, and that conviction became final prior to the commission of this offense. Is that true or not true?
Yes, sir.
Now, to the offense of driving while intoxicated, second, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Sattler, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Boudreaux, you have to make a change. You're gonna have to erase, you're gonna have, erase that box and check the box down here that's titled driving while intoxicated, DWI second offense. Okay? Yeah, you could check that second box.
I have to put on my glasses.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Check the second box.
Oh, it says DWI second.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to erase the first one?
I'll erase the first one. Okay. Okay, now, Mr. Sattler, this is DWI second, which is a Class A misdemeanor, and the range of punishment for DWI second is confinement in jail for at least 30 days, but not to exceed a year, a fine not to exceed $4,000, or you could give them both such confinement and fine. And upon a conviction resulting in community supervision, requires 72 hours continuous hours or 5 days in jail. Drug and alcohol evaluation, rehabilitation, payment for education program or installation of ignition interlock on his or her vehicle. Now, do you understand that, the range of punishment? All right. Now, on page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials, DS on the line next to the box that's checked no contingent, which means no contents. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Sadler, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Sadler, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State I have before me states exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and states exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer states exhibits 1 and 2? Never?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No, sir.
No objections. States exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Boudreaux, you've advised and counseled Mr. Sadler. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None at all, sir.
Mr. Sadler, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mr. Sadler, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state has offered 180 days in Jefferson County Jail, probated for 1 year. A mandatory 3-day jail time. He's going to turn himself in on October 13th at or before 6 p.m. Also, interlock, DWI intervention, $100 of community service, $750 fine, and court costs.
You say interlock. Now his jail time is to begin on October the 13th.
Correct, next
Okay.
Friday.
What is this court cost?
700. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. And are you appointed in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Three 37. Okay. Mr. Sadler, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, this 180 days will be probated for a period of 1 year. You'll also be required to pay a fine of $750. You'll be required to pay court costs of $377. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, or your analysis fee of $15 each month. You'll also be required to pay a reimbursement fee of $15. And you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $208 a month. Would you be able to pay the $208 each month?
I should be able to, yes.
Okay. You'll also be required to perform 100 hours of community service. You will serve 72 hours in the Jefferson County Jail beginning on October 13th of 2023 at or before 6 p.m. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll also be required to attend and complete the alcohol intervention or the intervention program, the DWI intervention program. And you'll also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Sadler, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Sadler, I follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Sadler, you're going to stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Boudreaux, I think this is your only case. You'll be free to go as well. You have a blessed day. Thank you. Court is back in session and calls number 23-CCCR-0200. Case is style, the state of Texas versus Christopher R. Castellon. This is cause number 23-CCCR-0200. Case is style, the state of Texas versus Christopher Emmanuel Castellon. Mr. Castellon. Is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you send Castellon back? Mr. Castellon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Castellon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Castellon, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Castellon?
Oh, good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Castellon, you're represented in this case by your attorney, Attorney Charles Rojas. Attorney Rojas, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Rojas, do you waive a record in Mr. Castellon's case?
We do.
You still got it. Send Castellon back in. Yeah. Mr. Castellon, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And this information, Mr. Castellon, it alleges that you, Christopher Emmanuel Castellon, on or about October 23rd of 2022, while you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Castellon, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead?
Yes,
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Castellon, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials, CC, on a line next to boxes titled as checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me on page 3 of this document, a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification, defendant's right of appeal, you recognize this document.
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The next document is titled Discovery Certification. I have this document on paper. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Castellon. Before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Castellon, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Rojas, you advised and counseled Mr. Castellon. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Castellon, your attorney, Mr. Rojas, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Castellon, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that your minute of competent stand trial. I will also find that your pleading waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's defendant's plea of guilty, the state is offered 180 days over 1 year. Probated for 1 year, 60 hours community service, court calls, CWI intervention, interlock, and $500 fine.
$500 fine plus court costs.
Mhm.
Mr. Castellon, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500, plus court costs of $377, plus a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Now, Mr. Rojas, are you hired on?
I'm hired.
Okay. Now, Mr. Castellon, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month is $163 a month. Will you be able to pay the $163 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install the interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete the DWI intervention class. You'll also be required to pay the DWI initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, as I mentioned earlier, is $163. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI, of this DWI case with a breath alcohol concentration of 0.15. Now, Mr. Castellon, again, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Castellon, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Castellon, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you're finished following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Rojas, I think this is your only
That's all I
case.
have to.
You'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
So it's been a
Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M324008. The case is filed state of Texas versus Megan Rashawn Banks. Ms. Banks, was that your full name? Ms. Banks, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Banks, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Banks, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Banks? So and so, okay, still so and so? All right. Now, Ms. Banks, again, you're represented in the case by your attorney. Attorney Giles Cole, Attorney Cole, do you waive a record in Ms. Banks' case?
Yes, we do.
Ms. Banks, I have before me a motion to revoke your unadjudicated probation. In this motion, that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. It alleges that you, Megan Rashawn Banks, was tried in County Court Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, on March 26th of 2021 for the offense of theft, which is a Class B misdemeanor. The court found that the evidence was sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt for the offense of theft, but deferred adjudication of guilt in accordance with the provisions of Article 42.12 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And the judge of said court placed you on probation or unadjudicated probation for a period of 9 months. I have before me in this motion to revoke probation, 3 allegations state, are you abandoning allegations 2 and 3?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Okay, the state is abandoning allegations 2 and 3, and what that simply means, Ms. Banks, is that they will only be proceeding on allegation number 1. And allegation number 1 alleges that you, Megan Rashawn Banks, failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as ordered by the court on December 1st of 2022 as directed in violation of condition 4 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? Now, are you pleading true to allegation number 1 freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading true because it is true? Ms. Banks, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, MB, on the line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to remove probation, true to allegation number 1. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
On the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Banks, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Banks, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Judge.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Cole, you're advising counsel, Ms. Banks, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Ms. Banks, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Banks, I will accept your plea of true to allegation number 1. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to revoke your unadjudicated probation, and your unadjudicated probation is hereby revoked. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of truth, the state has offered 10 days in Jefferson County Jail, giving her credit for 5 days. She's to turn herself in by tomorrow, October the 5th, no later than 6 p.m.
can you find out what the court cost is in this case? Probably.
Said everything $67.
67. Okay. Ms. Banks, the state is offering that you serve 10 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You've already served 5 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for 5 days that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $67. Will you be able to pay the $67 court cost? Now, Ms. Banks, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir, but are they doing the 2 for 1 day?
You would have to talk to the jail about that. Okay. Now, do you think the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes, sir.
Ms. Banks, I'll follow the people are in agreement that you have entered into the state. Now, Ms. Banks, your jail time will start tomorrow. Is it, I thought she said today.
Oh, she changes it.
Okay, we'll start today. At 6 p.m. That's October 4th, 2023. Okay, you have to be there on or before 6 p.m. At or before 6 p.m. at the jail. You're turning yourself in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Ms. Banks, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand next to your attorney. We'll follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Right here. Oh, is she over there? That's fine. You can stay over there. They switch seats on. And Mr. Cole, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay. And good luck, Ms. Patty.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
You too.